With the Ninjago City Workshops being the 5th set of the series, we think it's a pretty good time to rank them from 1st to 5th. To do that, we took a family vote on 3 different categories: playability, displayability, and overall quality. Now, we added up the points for each category to determine one winner for each, and then at the end added up all of the points that each set received to determine which one was our favorite and our best Ninjago City set. So let's dive in. Well, I personally am not somebody who cares a lot about playability in LEGO sets. My kids definitely do. Plus, the Ninjago City sets provide a unique hybrid of playability and displayability, so it's worth exploring this category. In case you are unfamiliar with all of the unique features that are playable in these sets, I'm going to highlight some for you. The workshops includes not only this big mech, but a working garage door and a huge crane. The Ninjago City Markets includes a massive gondola, some merchant stalls, a pool table, and an accessibility lift. The Gardens includes a raisable ladder, arcade, switchable advertisements, and a museum, decked out with wonderful details about Ninjago's past. The Docks includes a vending machine for soft drinks, a boat, pulley, cranes of produce that you can dump out, and more switchable advertisements. And the original Ninjago City includes an ATM, boat, sushi conveyor belt, workable lobster grill, and yes, even more switchable advertisements. There are more playability components to all of these sets, but that gives you a nice little taste of what those are like. Now, before I announce the results of this section, I do want to tell you how the points are calculated. If a set receives a first place vote, it gets 3 points, second place vote, 2 points, and a third place vote gets you 1 point. We simply add up all of the votes in the categories to determine which one is going to be on top. Now that you know that, we saw a tie for second place in our playability category between the Ninjago City Gardens and Ninjago City Markets. Coming in unanimously in first place is the original Ninjago City, which not only contains quite a few play features, but many that are unique. In particular, the ATM and that lobster grill are elite level functions. The playability may be more targeted toward kids and teens, but displayability is something that's key for adults and really the whole family. There is something satisfying about taking 1, 2, or even all 5 of the Ninjago City sets and arraying them in some way that looks really cool and impressive on your display shelf or even on a small play table. Now, of course, there are other elements that go into this that help the displayability, such as the building techniques and the really nice parts usage. Here are some highlights from this category. I love the round tiles that are placed inside the 1x2x5 transparent column outside the restaurant in the Ninjago City. There's this beautiful window using the large wagon wheel in the Ninjago City Docks, plus there are buildable animals in the original Ninjago City, the Docks, the Gardens, and the Markets. There's also this lime green tower on the Markets that is fantastic, and the bright light orange museum, the huge tree, and the green checkered external wall in the Gardens, and Dorama's workshop in the workshops. Now there's also beautiful use of curved transparent paneling as windows, as we see in the workshops and in Ninjago City. These cool features add to the displayability, but there's also a way that we see nice parts usage really help these sets out, especially in the roof sections. Check these out. Wrenches used on the city, shovels used in the Ninjago City Docks, there are treasure chests used in the Gardens, stable doors on the Markets, and regular minifig chairs used for roofs on the workshops. Without further ado, here are the winners of the displayability category. Like with playability, there was a tie for second place, this time between the Markets and the Ninjago City, each with 6 points. In first place is the Gardens, which garnered 9 points. And while these are the 3 biggest sets, I think they display very well and they stand out in terms of colors, heights, and key features in ways that the Docks and workshops just don't quite match. This category is admittedly rather nebulous. Overall quality can mean different things to different people. For some people, the wow factor dominates. For others, it's the building techniques that allow you to get to that end result. Some people look at the minifigs and the stories that it conveys about the movie or the TV shows and the characters you get to act things out with, while others might look at the resale price as an investment opportunity. Other people in the LEGO community have looked at this in terms of compiling them in a display next to the modular buildings, while others are looking at the potential for other sets and what connections they might see from the shows and the movie. The bottom line is there's so many ways we can look at it that I wanted a catch-all category that would allow us to kind of get our subjective feelings out there more so than the other categories. So without further ado, here are the results of our overall quality category. We had a tie for third place in this category between the markets and the docks with 4 points apiece. In second place was the Ninjago City at 7 points, and in first place was the Ninjago City Gardens. If you've been keeping track of our points as we've announced them, you might know which one won. But if you haven't, stay tuned because we're about to unveil that. But before we do that, I do want to make a note about other ratings of these sets. In particular, Brickset.com has ratings where people can give a set a particular score from 1 brick out of 5 to 5 bricks out of 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. And once a set gets enough of these ratings, it gets an overall average score, and 4 out of the 5 of these sets do have their average scores. The workshops, since it just came out, doesn't quite have enough ratings. In fourth place on Brickset is the Ninjago City Markets at a 4.3 out of 5, followed by the Docks at 4.5 out of 5, and then the Gardens and Original Ninjago City are tied at 4.6 out of 5. Now, I will note that out of the over 700 sets, not including the Bricklink Designer Program last year, only 32 sets received a 4.5 or higher, meaning that less than 5% earn scores that are that high. So the fact that 3 out of 4 of these sets so far have received those kinds of rating tells you just how great these sets are, how elite they are in the overall LEGO category. So we know that these sets are pretty popular. We know that LEGO is continuing to make them, and we know that some of them are elite status. Our rankings, though, do not quite match up with those at Brickset.com. Check it out. We found that there was no recency bias in our voting, as the Ninjago City Workshops came in 5th place with 1 point. We also deviated from the Brickset ratings because in 4th place was the Docks with 10 points, followed by the Markets in 3rd place with 14 points. As with the Brickset ratings, this means that our rankings of these sets came down to 2 sets, a 2-horse race between the Gardens and the original Ninjago City set. Now, coming in at 2nd place was the Gardens with 22 points, and coming in 1st place is the original Ninjago City, 25 points. Now, how is it that the Gardens wins 2 out of 3 categories and yet doesn't win the overall? Well, that comes down to the gap in the first category, Playability, where the Ninjago City was unanimously ahead of all the rest and earned 12 points, compared to the other 2 categories where the margin of victory for the Gardens was a bit narrower. But overall, pretty close, and I think that makes sense. Personally, I had the Gardens as my favorite, but the rest of the family voted, and I got voted down on that one at least. So there you have it. What do you think of our ratings? How would you rate these sets? Go ahead and put that in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more content on modular buildings, the Ninjago City sets, Lord of the Rings, and other LEGO themes. Thanks for watching, and always remember to keep building together.